I'm renting. No, I'm gonna rent. Get this last one over. And it's the last weekend for TikTok. Might as well just wild out. Crash out on TikTok. I feel like we always just waiting on me. And more.
Hey y'all, I'm Kiki Hunter.
What's good, people? I'm Mark Hunter.
Welcome to the Hunt Life Podcast. We created this podcast to give a real view of life as millennials navigating the world.
Real life discussions about the struggles our generation go through from family, love, and everyday life.
What's good, peoples? What's good? Got
Really?
me a blooper for the beginning, but nah. What's good, peoples? Hunt here. Welcome to the Hunt Life Podcast.
Hey y'all, it's Kiki.
Oh, you gonna make fun of me?
I thought I was left out for a second. Like, I just showed up. I'm here. Like, let's get this show started. Like, oh,
Nah.
see a song get fined, I guess.
This is the Hunt Life Podcast, episode 40. Sean Kemp. We back with the NBA numbers.
Wow.
Finally. Like,
Finally, literally. It's been what, 2-3 episodes?
Nah, it's probably been like almost 5.
That's a shame. You couldn't find nobody.
Nobody that people knew about.
It don't matter.
I'm not finna talk about Joe Blow that scored 2 points a quarter. I ain't doing it. No, no trust. I have no trust in them. Like, episode 40, we will be talking about trust.
Let me be the one.
In all different ways, but we're mainly focused on trust and a relationship. Because we're a relationship podcast, so talk about trust.
Trust you need in any relationship.
True.
Friendship, relationship, family ship,
business ship,
but definitely business because I will sue you.
Video game ship.
Not video game.
You gotta trust somebody. You gotta trust that if I run out here and try to go get this dub, that you're gonna actually put shots down and make sure boys is safe.
That's so petty.
And you dropping some folks. So yeah, you gotta have trust that your teammate gonna pull through.
I can see it.
Mm-hmm. Trust. But before we get off into deep dive into the topic, how was your previous week?
You know what? It's all been a blur. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. 2025 has been wild.
Yeah, 2025 like,
it has been on a wild ride, and baby, I don't know. I don't.
Prayers for LA.
Yeah, that definitely. LA, definitely my prayers. Like a whole apocalypse going on over there. So definitely prayers for LA. It's been 2025. That's all I got to say. But 2025 been wild so far. It did not come in and sit down like it was supposed to. It ramped up 2025, 2024 foolishness, and I'm just not here for it. It's been cold. The weather is gloomy outside. Like, I'm not used to this type of weather. Okay, we're from down south. We used to sun. We used to warm weather, even in the wintertime. Like, we used to a couple days of cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be cute, put on boots, put a little fur on for a couple days. We out here. It's been about a good 2 weeks of that, and we over here. I'm tired. Bring the sun back, and bring cool weather back. I'm ready to do my, my sweatpants and tank top setup. Like I'm over this. This ghetto. I'm tired. How has your week?
Cold.
I'm telling you, it's cold. I'm over it. This
was
like crazy.
Before the first little cold snap came through, the heater was tripping. Now we got us another one that's coming through this week. It's like, bruh, here we go with some more cold weather.
Tired.
Cold weather means I don't make no money. I don't like cold weather.
It's shockingly you keep saying that, but you haven't been out here in these streets.
Yeah, but still, I don't make
weather.
as much money as I would make if it's not cold.
That's true. Because y'all ain't gonna have my husband out here freezing.
It ain't even that. It's just that people be spooked.
Yeah, but as they should. That's inconsiderate. It's out here 15 degrees. And New York, up north, y'all need to come get y'all weather. I mean, that's just, I think from every person down south, I think I can speak for all of us when we say come get your weather.
Mm-hmm.
we don't
tired
want
of it.
it. This
This
is
the
not
South. This ain't what we signed up for.
at all. We don't do this. We fight hurricanes, baby. We don't fight cold weather. This is not it.
Nah.
Come get it. We
I
over
don't
it.
trust the weather.
Yeah, we're not trusting this. We don't know. Next talking about next week's supposed to it could snow. Baby, who got time for that?
But besides that, I mean,
Go play in September. Somewhere he want to go outside and have a snowball fight. Baby, we ain't trusting this snow. We don't know what that is.
we don't know what snow is. We ain't doing all that. Boy, come back, got whole malaria or
You
some
know what I'm
shit.
saying?
Not the malaria.
I know.
But trust. Trust is interesting. I could say that.
Trust is interesting. I think a lot of people will agree to that.
Oh yeah, trust is interesting because it can go on many different levels. Not
It's
like
levels to trust.
Yeah, it is. It's levels to trust. It's like you can mostly trust somebody with your kids, but then you don't trust them with your life. Like
That's crazy. Now I
you
don't
can
understand that because if I don't trust you, I dang sure my kids. It's my I'm not trusting. What?
you can trust somebody to have a kid with, but you can't trust them to be your spouse.
That's wild too. I see. I don't be understanding that. That's crazy.
You can trust somebody
Put my life on the
to
line. That's wild.
you can trust somebody to buy a house with them, but you can't trust them to get married.
Maybe you being deep today.
Like it's a lot of different like levels when it comes to trust.
Yeah.
And it's like people pick and choose the type of trust that they want.
Yeah.
Some people might have more trust in a football, their favorite sports team, than they have in their wife.
Oh, that's messy, and I wish you would.
But some women have more trust in their makeup and their wigs and stuff than they have in looking natural.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
that's what I'm saying when I say that trust is like it's so many levels to trust.
It is.
Like you could sit there and look at that car, look at your car, and you got 2 bars left for gas, and you trust that you gonna make it to work and home
Now I don't see how
on
y'all
2 bars
do
of
that. Oh,
gas.
baby, I don't play them games. I don't trust that at all. Y'all be taking risks.
But
Y'all be
that's
taking
trust though.
real. I don't trust you 2 bars, baby.
But
If you don't go fill my gas
but
tank
think
up,
about it. When you're putting your trust into something, you're taking a risk. Regardless of what you put in your trust in, you're taking a risk.
Yeah.
You just because you never know. You can put all your faith and all your trust in somebody, and then like they make you look stupid. Now you got to rebuild trust.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
Is trying to rebuild trust, or even trying to fight for someone to trust you.
Yeah. To earn that trust back again.
Because people have so many like different like stipulations, more than just stipulations. They have trauma is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, they have trauma.
To where they can't even fully trust anybody.
Yeah. That's there, right there.
Yeah,
a lot of people have a lot of trauma to prevent you from trusting. Yep.
Yeah, like trust is more scarier than getting married.
Yeah, because
it's more scary than having a baby. Because once you have this child, now you got to trust yourself that you're gonna do everything that's in the right, everything that's in the right manner to keep this child, to grow this child to be a good, decent human being.
Yeah.
Like even with marriage, you got to be able to, like a woman, you got to be able to trust that this man is gonna steer the family into the right direction. But then even as a man, you got to trust in yourself to make sure that you're gonna steer your family in the right direction.
Yeah.
Like there's so like trust is like it's a short word.
It's a short word,
but it has a lot of implications to it. That's the crazy part about trust. It's like it's all over the place, bro. Like the word trust alone is just all over the place.
Because you first have to trust yourself to make the decision to trust somebody else.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, like with a lot of people a lot of us have a lot of trauma that prevents us from trusting. So, but a lot of that comes from you don't even trust yourself enough to make the right decision.
True.
Like you don't even trust yourself. Like those usually be the people that need everybody's opinion. You need to talk to every single person. You gotta call this person, that person. You gotta call your mom and be like, should I do like you need so many different opinions for you to make a decision about your life or somebody you want to be with or something that you need to do because you don't that's a sign that you don't trust yourself to make the right decision for your life, even for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like because trust is a vulnerable thing, whether you're trusting somebody else or even trusting yourself, because you also have to be okay with messing up.
Yeah.
You got to be okay with saying, damn, I didn't make the right decision this time, or I maybe missed these particular signs. And that's the hard part, I think, for a lot of people. Everybody is scared to get hurt. And giving that trust, some people got people jumping through hoops to try to get something they will never have.
No, that's true.
Like you want them to show you why they should trust you, but still at the same time, it's really no way you got them chasing something that you never really gonna fully give them because you don't trust yourself to make the right decision to trust them, so they will never get the trust because that door is closed. You got so much trauma that you haven't worked through that it's impossible for anything or anybody, but yet y'all will trust the job to pay y'all every 2 weeks.
But that's going into trusting yourself into would
Like,
you bet on yourself and start a business? You trust the job more than you trust yourself to actually get out
provide for
there
yourself
and provide for you and your family or provide for yourself.
Yeah.
You're more comfortable because the thing about trust is some of the time people like we're humans. We all get complacent. We all get comfortable.
We all make
But
mistakes.
yeah, we all make mistakes too. But the main thing is that we all get complacent and we all get comfortable. When we get comfortable, that kind of sort of brings down the trust a little bit because we're in this cycle of, well, this is how this is always going to go because this is how it's been going.
Yeah.
Patterns show that this is how it's going to go, so we trust the patterns until something out of nowhere just screw up the whole entire patterns, and then now it's like, all right,
So
I trusted
consistency.
that. But that's consistency, but that's hard. It's hard to trust consistency some of the time.
Is it because consistency? Because I hear that a lot online. Consistency gets boring. Like I saw a question online that was like, are healthy relationships boring? Because it's nothing going on, right? You have to trust, you have to communicate, you have so in all these things because trust is also a part of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you are trusting something, you got to constantly communicate with yourself and with everybody else involved, right? Because my perception of something might not be actually what it is.
Yeah.
That could be my own trauma that I'm looking through, right? And I need to talk about it and communicate it so that I can figure out if I'm feeling this through my trauma or is it what I'm actually seeing. But I won't know that if I already don't trust you, or I'm already expecting you to disappoint me, or I'm already expecting you to lie to me, or I'm already expecting the worst.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't need to communicate because in my mind, what's the point?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like.
First of all, that's a loaded question.
What?
Is boring relationship is a healthy
I know that's
relationship
a whole
boring?
nother topic,
Like
baby.
that's a full topic because to me, I can break that down into multiple ways. No, it's not unhealthy. It's actually healthy that you're in a healthy relationship to where y'all not being toxic towards each other. But the reason why people feels like that being in a healthy relationship can get boring is because a lot of us are used to the consistency of toxicity. Like we never, a lot of us has like, if we're gonna call a spade, and we're gonna be honest with ourselves, a lot of us didn't really see positive, like marriages, positive relationships, like a bunch of different positive role models. Cause hell, some of the role models that people have, they're crumbling down now as we speak.
Yep.
So we have been built up more like P game. We've been watching wrestling. I've been watching Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And that shows you just how much toxicness that we have been going through our whole entire life
Yeah.
because Raw was toxic.
Toxic
It
is
was
all
teaching us
gal. It
toxicity.
was.
Then once we got a little bit older, toxicity for women was the love of basketball,
Yeah.
the stories. Like
Mhm.
we was born into toxicness.
Mhm.
The Jerry Springers,
Yeah.
the Oprah
Talk
Winfreys, the
shit
Ricky
and
Lakes.
fight. Yeah.
Like even when we sat down and watched TV with our grannies and we watching the stories, what's that?
Toxic,
Toxicness.
baby.
We are
Everybody was sleeping
built
with
in.
everybody with secrets, lost. It was all type of stuff.
So yes, I can get why you can feel like that being in a healthy relationship can get boring
Yeah.
because that means that it's finally some stability that's going on in your life to where you could just wake up and just be happy. A lot of us don't even understand about what the hell it really means to be happy,
Yeah.
to be content and actually be happy.
Yeah. To be at peace.
So when you can actually get past that whole like I'm actually at peace, I'm actually happy, then being in a healthy relationship wouldn't feel boring.
Yeah. Because the is that the generational curse?
Yeah, that's one of
Is
them.
that one? Yeah, is that one of the generational curses that we all look over?
Yeah.
Because you have to go back and think about when trust was first introduced to us, right? The first line of trust that you get is from your parents, and
And we
not
got to
speaking for
trust this.
everybody,
I can go deeper than that.
not deeper than the parents. Okay,
No, but it has to do with parents,
yeah,
but it has to do with trust.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you have to trust your parents,
That your
but
parents
then
wouldn't lie to you
yeah, but then they lie to you,
about
right?
Santa Claus.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we kind of stopped celebrating a lot of the holidays and being honest with our kids. Is not. I know people like let them kids believe into yeah, but I still allow my kids to celebrate it on their own terms. But I also want you to know the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you somebody sneaking into your house. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like the fact that I'm lying to them that did not sit right, and I didn't understand why I'm lying to them when they still gonna get the gifts. They still gonna get to celebrate. We're still gonna do the activity. So why lie, right? What lie am I protecting? And so that was the thing, the Easter bunny, like all this stuff, like we start to lie to our kids, so it starts to be normalized. But even with that, the relationship between your mother and your father, that's you see how that starts to go,
Mm-hmm.
right? It could be your daddy telling you to keep secrets from your mama. It's the mothers. A lot of women in our generation, again, not all y'all, so please, but a good bulk of us grew up with moms telling us, the women in the older generation saying, you don't trust the man. Make sure you always keep some money put up for just in case that he doesn't know about. So now you're learning to keep secrets. You're being told to not trust the opposite sex. You're being told not to trust your spouse. So psychologically, what that does when you like from hearing that as a child, by the time you are even able to start getting in a relationship, you already have the mindset of I can't fully trust this person because I've heard that my whole life. Make sure you have your own stuff. Make sure you keep you some money put up that he don't know about to the side. Never put your all into a man. Never let a man lead you, right? Like go get your own. So like make sure you have your own. He has like you are already automatically taught, especially from the older generation, to not put no trust in the opposite sex. Like that's a no-no. That we were taught that that's a no-no. So growing up and then you start to date. Let's say you get your first heartbreak. We all go through it, and now it little do we know it stamps what we've already been told from our parents. So now our outlook on love and relationships, even your friendships, all our parents told you couldn't go through no situation with your friend without them telling you that was never your friend in the first place. You don't have no real friend. Like they're spewing that to where you don't trust people. So any instance that you get into it with somebody or you experience your first heartbreak, you were kind of already were prepared for it, and it stamps it. It certifies what they said was true.
Mm-hmm.
So now, before you can actually hit adulthood to actually start making these big decisions for yourself, you've let your childhood and your adolescence dictate that because they've already told you you've gotten your first heartbreak, you done fell out with your best friend. So now in your mind, it's like, I really can't trust people. My mama, and we always say, what my mama tell me, never to trust nobody. My mama always told, we always say that what our mamas told us, but was that even healthy? We got a seed planted in us so young that we couldn't understand or comprehend that
That's
until
a
older.
topic too.
What?
The seeds that's been planted in us. See, like,
Write that
if
down.
y'all don't, I don't know.
Two
I feel
topics.
like that I'm just over here finna get onto my little preachy thing because it's like
I know that's
this
right.
is this is interesting. Like we had to like the seeds that's been planted in us since teenage years, since before teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to lie to your kids as long as it's for a good reason. Women being told that they don't want no scrub.
I don't want no
Dudes
scrubs.
being told that
Scrubs, I gotta ain't get no love from
females
me.
ain't shit but hoes
Hey.
and tricks.
Ooh, bitch, ain't shit. But
No
listen,
new friends.
no new friends, no new
Like
friends, no, no, no. Listen,
we can't trust.
stay
Like
down with day one.
it's so
Hey,
much to unpack when it comes to our adolescence. And it was like when we was all majority of us between the fifth to eighth grade when 9/11 happened, we had to trust that everything was like this was all happening for a reason, and we trusted that stuff was gonna get better.
mm-hmm.
But since 9/11, if you actually been paying attention, ain't nothing really got better. The only difference is now that we're in the right to be able to vote and to be able to like run the world, meaning paying taxes and steering the generation the way it needs to go.
Yeah,
We're realizing more and more now that we don't trust the government. On top of not trusting the
cause
government,
hell,
we
that was
don't
a lie.
trust a lot of stuff when it comes to that part to where we don't really care about putting money into the government to try to make everything better for the next generation
Yeah, and
because we
yeah,
seen how like that's the whole thing about like trusting our parents and trusting the boomers and stuff that
yeah,
they're going to steer us in the right direction. But now when we look at the stuff that we're supposed to be taking over, how are we going to come out the hole of being trillions of dollars in debt
yeah.
to fix it for our kids in the future?
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that takes it away from like, well, we just got to trust the process. Nah, fam,
Mm-mm.
the process is
Mm-mm.
screwed up.
Yeah,
Like, so it's like, how can we trust an infrastructure or trust something that was put into place for us when the whole entire time they just been lying to our face and making us feel like you pissing on my leg and telling me that it's raining.
yeah,
Like that's pretty much what's going on.
yeah.
And that stuff is crazy. Like, sure, okay, I'm all over the place when it comes to this trust stuff. But that's the
It's
point
a
that I'm
deep
trying to make.
topic.
It's such of a deep topic that we can break this trust thing down into multiple different things.
Yeah,
But the main thing we know that y'all here for is talking about trust and relationships. And the thing about trust and relationships is your wife can trust you as much as she want to until you do something to screw up that trust.
yeah,
Now you got to try to build up trust. But the hard part about trying to rebuild trust when you've been in a marriage or been in a relationship for 5, 6 plus years is it's like that person kind of sort of know who you are,
yeah.
so they can see past the lies.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have faith that it's gonna
And it's
get
not
better.
even that they can see past the lies. It's just the old stuff that used to work, or like you half assing, it doesn't work anymore, right?
Yeah,
Like
you
you
got
have
to
to
wait to
find
start back
once
half-assing it.
you really.
Mhm.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there. Like you have to the old because when you go to restoring trust, this is now a rebuild, right? So that means to rebuild something or to start anew or create something new, that means something else had to die in there.
Refinancing the household.
Really. You have to you have to die to that old version of yourself, right? Like you have to be able to say, this is a new relationship. So the things that we were doing before this point, we can no longer do because now one, we know that doesn't work,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you continue to do it, do you really want forgiveness? Like, do you, well, not forgiveness, but do you really want my trust? Or do you just want to have me here under all your chaos and drama, right? Like, or is us being healthy and us being able to trust each other really important to you? Because why would you want to go back to something that clearly didn't work for us and had us in shambles, or, obviously upset your spouse, and now you had to go through seeing and understanding that you was the source of that pain? Why would you want to continue to put that on them? So it's when you have to rebuild trust, it's 10 times harder, because now y'all do know each other.
Yeah.
The things that you used to could do isn't going to work anymore, because the person either sees through it, or that's a boundary that has now been put up.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been something that, it's not to say they didn't see it before. They just didn't see it to be a real problem before. They didn't know that they needed to put a boundary up with you before this thing happened, to where y'all trust got broken. So now it's not even the fact that it doesn't work anymore. It's just like, no, right there, that's where my boundary is with you, because you used to do that and it was fine, but that it led to this, right? So now I have this boundary up to where, like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So it forces the other person to have to relearn who both of y'all now are after this thing has happened. Now y'all trying to rebuild the trust. And that's why it's so hard when you break trust with people. When you break that covenant that y'all have, even in a friendship. I tell people all the time, for me, trust is a huge thing for me. If I cannot trust you, I can't have you around me. Because one, I have trust issues, and I'm not afraid to say that. I understand it. I know that. I have went through a whole lot of trauma. I have been lied to a lot in my life. I've had a lot of manipulators around me. So for me, I'm already a person who's already thinking about what you saying to me and how you saying it in your body. Like, I'm already looking at you. So, because it's just anybody, right? So now it's the fact that I can't trust you. You finna drive me crazy. And for me, that's just not what I see my life being. So if I can't trust you, I'm just not finna deal with it. That's just who I am. So for me, trust is a big thing. If I'm going to rebuild trust with you, you have to be dead ass serious about it, because I don't give a third chance. I might give you a second chance if I feel like it was very sincere. This was an honest mistake. Because there's also understanding and trust too. You have to also allow people to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid of getting hurt. I'm scared to get hurt, but I'm not scared to get hurt to the extent where I'm not willing to put myself out there, right? Because that's also understanding who you are and what you do bring to the table, and trusting yourself to do what's in your best interest, and trusting God and why he's sending you through certain things. That's called discernment. You have to be able to understand why. That's why I always tell people, learn your lessons when you're going through stuff. When you feel like you're in the most stressful times of your life, that's probably because it's a lesson that you need to be learning in this. So for me, it's understanding, like, how far did you go, and can this even be something that's can this be rebuilt? You have to understand that and not be. I think people are scared to get hurt today.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is scared to, like, I don't want to fully put nothing into anything. You don't want to put nothing fully into your job, because you're like, this job could leave, can fire me any moment. You don't want to put nothing fully into your relationship, because you're like, well, he could up and leave whenever he want. You don't want to put nothing into your friendships, because you're like, well, friends don't last forever. They can stab me in the back at any point in time. Like, we don't want to fully put trust into anything that we do, but we're expecting loyalty. You can't expect loyalty if you can't trust. Like, it's not how it works. I can't expect you to be loyal to me if I don't even trust you. You can't expect me to be loyal to you if I don't trust you. Like, it goes hand in hand. You have, and loyalty is important to everybody. Everybody say, I'm just trying to find somebody loyal. I want to find somebody gonna tell me true. I want to find, but you can't trust it. So it wouldn't matter. I could be loyal. You can watch me put my life down on the line for you. You still wouldn't trust it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to trust it first and be okay with if you get burnt this time, if you get hurt this time, that's okay. What lesson did you learn out of it? What part did you play into this? And it's not negating the fact of what the other person did, but it's also understanding that you trust yourself enough to say, I put my all into this. I trusted myself to love you enough and to be there for you enough and to love you enough. I gave you the loyalty that is important to me, because loyalty is important to me. That's why trust is important to me. So I'm going to give you that. Anybody in my life, I have never had nobody ever tell me I did some unloyal shit, because that's not who I am. I don't like hurting people. Genuinely, I don't. So if I hurt you, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to fix it, because I don't like that feeling. But if you screw me over, yes, I'm T, but at the same time, I can walk away at peace, because I know I did everything I was supposed to do on my behalf. I trusted you enough and I was loyal to you. I gave you the same thing that I wanted, and you just wasn't able to give that back. And that's the part where it's like, okay, now can I walk away from this? Or is this something that we can rebuild? But you can't be scared to be hurt to the point you start to change who you are because you don't want to be hurt. That's a big problem that a lot of people have. Nobody's living in their true selves, but everybody tell you they're a real one. You're not a real one if you're allowing other people to dictate who you are and how you treat people.
True.
I'm going to love whoever comes around me and whoever in my circle, because I trust you to be here. If I didn't trust you, you wouldn't be here.
More of the story, you got to trust yourself in order to trust others.
Mm-hmm. It starts with you. You got to trust yourself. You got to love yourself. You can't give something to somebody else that you can't give to yourself first.
So, did we get questions from the people this week?
We did. We're going to answer the question. We're going to do a rant.
We can answer the question and do the rant.
Okay, so the question was, hold on.
What was a historical moment that you would have liked to live through, some stuff like that?
If you could witness any historical event, which would you choose?
You want to go first?
I don't want to go first.
So if I could have witnessed any historical event, what would I choose? I mean, sports-wise, I would have liked to see the Rumble in the Jungle with Ali versus Frazier. Like political-wise, like I would have liked to see like Malcolm X give a speech.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, I would have loved to have got a chance to meet Malcolm X or be at one of his speeches or something, like to experience that. Like knowing what I know now about him, because I really like, I'm gonna keep saying it. I know Martin Luther King Day is on the rise. I get that, all right, but I feel like Malcolm X is still like very slept on,
like, yeah.
And like he was just an amazing human being, like in front of the camera, in front of the people, and in his personal life. Just the way he cared and loved for his wife, like the man he actually was. He wasn't just out here talking and preaching. He really was that. And I'm like, yeah, he was really that dude. So I would have loved to be in his presence. Like,
yeah, so like, yeah, I would have loved to like witness a Malcolm X speech, but not like I'm witnessing because I'm a Muslim. I want to witness it just to, like be there, just to be like, okay, all right, I'm messing with this.
Yeah.
See some Black Panther stuff.
Yeah, like I would have
be a part of the Black Panther party, like right there in that mix, like watching that whole situation. Like that would have been interesting.
Yeah. I would say
because that was a lit time for like Black folks.
It was like I think I don't know if I wouldn't say historical, but I definitely would have wanted to be there for like the Black stuff, like the Black movement, like because I just like I look back at just different TV shows from that time. So like for me, it's like that 60s, 70s era was just a time. Like, even if you go back and watch stuff like Good Times or like the Jeffersons and like, cause they all was around that time. So they all, when pivotal stuff happened, they always talked about it. So it was just like, dang, I really like, even from the hairstyles to the clothing, like I just would have loved to be around during that time. I think,
I don't know about for the hairstyles for me though. They weren't waved up like that. I'm
really.
like, hell yeah, like shit. I gotta keep the waves, bro.
And then I think if we're talking about like musical or like an event like that happened, I would have wanted to be around for Michael Jackson because baby, I just feel like that's something you had to be there for. Like
Music,
young Michael Jackson wise, like I feel like I needed to experience that, like him like making people pass out and stuff. Like, listen, I wanted
music
to be
wise, I gotta say Jimi Hendrix.
the Jimmy. Oh Lord, not Jimi
Oh
Hendrix.
yeah, I gotta be back during the Jimi Hendrix time. I wanted to see him rip that guitar up. Like he
But a
did
good,
some amazing stuff up on the guitar that's just like nobody's ever gonna ever pretty much be able to do it. Like his national anthem with the guitar and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
boys was like lit with their guitar. So it's like I'd like to see that.
And like what else? Because listen, we millennials, so we have lived through a lot of historical stuff. Now listen, we done been
Mm-hmm.
through 9/11 with the Apollo. Listen, we had some stuff we lived through. Um,
Two crashes,
yeah. So
Scream tour,
not,
the Millennial tour.
listen.
Who's here for the Jeezy and
Yeah, Gucci reunion. Listen, I can't stand him. But like, I don't want to be here for them. But I think the Black Panther movement was the Black movement was a time that I really, really probably would have wanted to experience. Um, because I just don't think we have ever been greater than that time.
we haven't recovered from it. But I
Yeah.
don't think like the Call of Spade is played. Not just like black people haven't recovered from it. Like America hasn't recovered from that what happened in them 60s. That was a
Mm-hmm.
very pivotal moment in American history. And it's like if you're not into conspiracies and stuff like that, then you wouldn't understand how pivotal the 60s was. Like that was a very pivotal moment. Like America was finally on one accord. Everybody was getting along, the blacks and the whites.
Yeah.
Like everybody was trying to strive for greatness, and the government didn't like that. So
Yeah.
they did things to push everybody back.
Right.
The same way that they took away a bunch of black heroes, this was a time when they took away a president too. So
Yeah.
they showed you that their reach is very far and wide. And their reach was so powerful that it pretty much put a stop to a bunch of stuff. Nobody has really stood up since the 60s.
Since that time, yeah,
Since
that
that
sounds
time
like I would
period.
have
That was the
loved to
last
really be
time that
there.
people actually stood up and was like, screw this, we want to make a change.
Yeah. Because even before it got so bad, like, all the trauma that they took us through at the end with, the assassination of the president, the assassination of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Before it got, that was like at the end, like, but
Fred
before Fred
Hamilton, like
Hamilton, like, before it got there, like, the greatness that was happening, like, for years before that, like, the Black Wall Streets and, like, the kids was, like, all the black business owners that was, like, I would have just to like be there and experience. So if I could just go back and like see it, I think that would be awesome. And then because I know I love Jesus, so I don't want to see the resurrection. Okay, I don't know if that kind of historical events, but in my book it do.
what's a historical event?
But I would want to go back and see him speak. Like I don't want to see the resurrection because I don't think what I'm saying. I can't. I don't want that part. But I would love to be at the Last Supper, and I would have loved because baby, the shots that was being thrown there, like I would have loved to be on that in that room, and then like just to see one of his teaching, like to experience and just to experience him in that light. I would have loved to be
True.
around,
and I wanted to see
during those
Moses throw
times.
the tablets. And he
Yeah, I
got
would have
pissed and
been.
threw the tablets so I could
Yeah,
instigate that like, oh
yeah, I would have liked to be in there during Moses' time too because I don't want to be with the people. I just want to see him go up, on that good old mountain and then come back and throw them tables. Cause I can't wait to the second coming because I need to ask him what was you I gotta know, like, what was you thinking? Like, can you recall? I know it's a long time ago, but can you recall what was going through your mind when you had sat up there on that mountain all that time to get them tablets, and you come down and you just,
because you was writing in stone, so that wasn't no 2-day process.
It wasn't. They thought he was gone. They thought he was just he wasn't coming back, and he got down there and acted a fool. I need to know that's a moment I would have wanted to just witness. I don't want to really be there, but I want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I think to experience Jesus, like just to, I really want to go to like, oh, that's how I'm like Israel, like the Middle East needs to get it together because that is on my bucket list. I do want to go over there, and I do want to like walk and go to like places that are like foundational over there that he walked and stuff like that. Like I do want to eventually do that, but I would have loved to like witness one of his good old teachings.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe turn water into wine. That was that was lit. That wouldn't sound like it was a time to be there. He turned the fish into bread and fish to feed all them people. I wouldn't want to be there for that. Like, to walk
because
on
I
the
would
water.
wanted to know if it was a fish fry.
Wasn't no fish fry.
How you know?
They wasn't frying fish back then.
He could have turned water into grease.
Mark.
And they had a good old fish fry.
That is not what they.
My Jesus is black, so I like to picture that they had a nice fish fry. They had a bunch of grains, so they had fish and bread. And then he turned water into wine. Like
I can't do it.
So it's like, yeah.
But yeah, that will probably be. Those are my times. So I hope listen. I know I got a little off, but I hope they answered. That was a good question. I love that question.
Because at first I only had funny ones that y'all wouldn't have liked. So like, it was like I wanted to go back into like the first ones that got on the ship to tell them like, nah, bro, don't come over here. You don't want to do that.
Bro,
see?
I can't stand you. Like that is so childish. That is childish. But no, that was a good question. I love that. So y'all can send us questions like that's what I'm saying. I ain't gotta be nothing serious. Y'all can send us
anything. Just give us some random questions and we answer it. We ain't scared to answer no questions.
Yeah. So nothing's too hard, nothing too easy. Just
pause. But
not pause. But
you got rent before we get out of here?
It's so hard.
Because I got one.
To say goodbye.
What, to Drake?
To TikTok. Oh. Man, listen. Listen. I can't believe the Supreme Court. Listen. I can't say what I'm going to say, what I was thinking. Because y'all going to try to come to me. Y'all going to try to come for me. Y'all going to be talking about it's a threat. It's not a threat. But count your days. Because why would you ban?
That's not nice.
Why would you ban TikTok? Anyhow. I don't care. That don't make him happy. Really, your days are numbered. Like, why would you ban TikTok? Why would you agree with this foolishness? What's your beef?
Because they don't want to see the people together.
Because now you're sending us back to Instagram and Facebook. That's so ghetto. Don't nobody want to be on Instagram and Facebook. They don't talk to people over there. It ain't nothing but the weirdos and the people y'all can control on Instagram. No shade to my Instagram people that love me because I love y'all back. But to the other ones, the looky-loos, the people that be seeing your stuff and I never say nothing, I never comment, like nothing, just be watching. Don't send us back over there. This is ridiculous. Like I didn't even realize I was upset or this upset about it until it started getting closer. And like the closer it got, the more upset I got about it. Because what you mean? Because seriously, y'all really about to do this? I'm 2 seconds from giving my information over to China in a second, just because I don't want to go back to Instagram. It's ghetto over there. It's real ghetto. And I dang sure ain't going back to Facebook. If I go back to Facebook, I'm telling y'all now I'm be trolling. I'm trolling on Facebook. That's what I'm doing. I'm just dropping stuff just to disturb y'all for the day. That's it. That's all I'm gonna be doing because it's ghetto.
We had a power. Why would we give all our information to the communists?
Because we don't like America that much. That's why.
Yeah, but we could just screw all them over and just don't use social media.
But I think we're beyond it.
No, we're not. Actually, We shouldn't be. We literally have the power. We outnumber them. Until people realize that we outnumber these assholes, we will never get nothing done.
That could be true, but then that goes into a whole nother topic because the people on Instagram not gonna be down for that. So that's again, the people on Instagram is gonna look at us protesting this and like they still gonna be on Instagram looking, and that's my beef. It's like, why y'all sending us back over here with the people who they don't be king. They don't, like, why do we have to go back?
Now we gotta see, yeah, because now we gotta deal with the dumb marketers. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
could teach you how to make your profile expand. No, you can't. Shut up.
Like, we gotta deal
Like
with these people just doing Instagram, Facebook, and I keep saying because y'all the same. Like
$5 to
Instagram is
promote your
on,
stuff on my story.
and it's already started. It's just I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't want to go back, and I'm not going back. Y'all continue to catch me on YouTube. It's a lot of stuff coming this year on
YouTube and Spotify,
YouTube.
fam. Like this where we at, man.
Because I refuse to. I'm not doing it. I know I got to be on there for business, but I don't want to.
We doing lives up on YouTube. We
Yeah,
doing
y'all
all
just gonna
that
have to
stuff,
catch
man.
us.
Y'all
Make sure
finna have
y'all
to catch us
follow.
up on YouTube.
Yeah,
Because that's where we're gonna start doing more live stuff at. Talk
breakout
about current
series.
events. We're gonna use our lives to talk about current events. And some of the time we might just do a live podcast episode. But majority of lives gonna be current events. So because we do sometimes happen to stumble upon events before they start getting big, we can be you guys' source of internet. We can be
Yeah,
your source of the news.
but yeah, y'all continue to follow us on here and on YouTube and good old Spotify. Cause I'm not going back to the ghetto. I worked too hard to get out the hood. I ain't going back. That's why I just. But my people on Instagram that love me, I love y'all back. I promise, I do. Y'all really, really mean it. I do. Y'all the only reason why I continue to post over there, for real. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be. I promise. Y'all are the pure reason. Y'all my favorites, and you know who you are. But yeah,
I'm finna pull a Drake. I'm just gonna start snitching on everything online.
Jesus,
Straight snitching up on the internet.
I can't
Like,
stand you.
might as
Drake
well.
has
Like,
been
I'm gonna start snitching. Like, shoot.
just say you
Government.
upset at Drake. Just gone. This Drake, listen to us. You need to come. I'm gonna tell you how you make this right. Okay, you need to come out and pen a love letter to your fans.
I don't want no
Put it
love
in
letter.
your
Pause.
music. Okay, come out with a song dedicated to your fans. Instead of love letter, but okay. Do a song dedicated to your fans and let us know what's going on because we just not understanding the lawsuit right now. We all
And
confused.
leave that tough guy act at home.
I leave it okay.
We don't want to hear that. Drop one of these, 10 p.m. Houston or some stuff. Like,
We need to know. It's not making sense. You're losing it.
no, it's making perfect sense.
It does make sense, but I don't think it. I don't think it is what we think it is. So I'm saying.
Oh no, I think I know what it is. He
Just
waited all this time for us to like him, and now the black community accept him. Now he pulls a Karen.
did y'all accept him? Maybe he just crashing out. We all entitled to a good
Oh, he
crash
crashing out. Oh, we know he's crashing out.
We all
He's
entitled to a
snitching.
good crash out sometimes.
He like the cousin that wrote up on something, and we all over here saying we ain't do it, and he said, "Nah, I know who did it." He telling when he was the one that did it. You did it first. Now all of a sudden you don't want nobody else to do it.
I'm telling you,
That ain't
listen to
right.
me, Drake. This is what you need to do. Just get your fans back on board. Like you get off the internet too. Like stop looking at all these people that don't even like you. You got a lot of us that like you. A lot. Okay? You've made yourself a staple in the black household. All right? You too big to be acting like this. You just don't need to be doing it. So just go ahead, drop a song to your fans, tell them screw them, and then go away until all of this blow over.
Yeah, do
And
like
drop
J.
the
Cole
daggone
did.
lawsuit. Drop the lawsuit though. You can't do it and then you got to drop the lawsuit. Okay. Well, at least you got to reword it or something. You got to make this look a little tougher than what it look right now.
But
Right
nah,
now
but
it's
the thing
not.
about the lawsuit is it's like, oh, I'm not suing the artist. I'm suing the company. Fam, you're still telling. You did the same thing. You did that to Meek Mills, bro. Like, wear the shoes. Like, you gotta wear the shoes, bro. Like, you lost. Take your
I
L,
just need the
fam.
explanation.
That's the
I'm
thing.
not gonna
Like,
judge you until I get the explanation.
the boy don't want to take his L.
He didn't have an L to take.
Oh, he had an L to
He
take.
didn't.
It is
You
because
didn't.
the
Now you
songs
do,
was
but you
proving
didn't.
him right. The music is aging like fine wine at this moment.
Mark, that we're not doing that.
It is. It's actually aging pretty well. I re-listened to the songs. It's aging. Like, he already told us that he was gonna do this. Not Drake, Kendrick. Kendrick already said that, bro. You
How we
tried
know
to.
when in the because it could have been already in the making before all this stuff happened.
Yes, because he tried to get like that taken down. So he already showed that he was willing to sue some niggas in order to get his way.
But Drake always suing somebody that ain't that new. That's why
Yes,
I'm
but
surprised why y'all. You know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Go ahead in your rant because I'm not.
oh, that
I'm not
is
doing it.
like, bro. It's like you can't. What's the saying? I'm good for old Susan. You can't throw a rock and hide the hand or some shit like that. One of them. But with that being said, oh, and we got a new president coming. It's a historic day because it's on the Black holiday, and on top of that, we finally getting America back. So I think that if you got kids, you should. I hope because this gonna be past it. So I hope that you was able to let your kids watch some of the inauguration because
I need
those
to see
are
it.
important
Oh.
moments when it comes to like developing your kids. You
No
want to be
matter
able to
how
show
you
them.
feel about it.
Yeah, no matter how you feel about him, it's a man that had a plan and wanted to be president, and he showed that you can actually like
Do it.
strive to do something that you really want to do it. Even
Right.
if you're not a part of that club,
Mm-hmm.
you're still able to do it, and not just once but twice.
Yep. It's
So
important.
it's a comeback story, and you should want your kids to see some stuff like that, even though that you don't like the situation that it is. But that has nothing to do with the simple fact of that our kids should be able to witness stuff like this,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of us didn't get to witness stuff like this. So
Yeah.
we should at least let our kids witness different historical events that's going on at this time.
Also, so they can understand what's true and what's not, because they gonna lie about it later. So, like, let them witness it so they can follow the dots on their own. Like, just it doesn't matter. Let's make America great again. Let's
Yeah.
make it healthy again. Because baby, I'm here for the food changes. I'm telling y'all now, I'm here for it. All right. So I don't have a problem, but for those that's devastated by this current by this current event, like, hey, you still live here, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you still here.
You
You
still
still in
live here.
America.
Like it just, I
Make the best of
mean,
it, fam. You are
yeah,
what makes your family survive, what makes your family tick,
yeah.
what makes your family strive for greatness.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter about who's the president or who's not the president. It's about
No,
what you do and that you have trust and faith in the Lord that He's going to put you in the right position to where you and your family is thriving.
that part.
So, with that being said, I'm Hunt.
I'm Kiki.
This is the Hunt Life Podcast. Hunt Life.
Live dreams. Bye,
What's good, people? Before y'all leave, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Oh, and follow us at
y'all. Hunt Life the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button. You can also find me at I'm the Key on Instagram, and you can follow us on Hunt Life Co on Instagram and TikTok.
and you can find me on Mr. Hunt Bubbles on everywhere. Mr. Hunt Bubbles on everything and also Hunt Files. And don't forget, if you got any comments or any statements or anything that you want to leave us, you can always find us up on Instagram and Hunt Life, the podcast. Have a great day, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Hunt Life, live dreams.